Peace. This is Hoyku Simmons, and this is Saturday Night Confessional, and this is done under the No Truths Barred platform. So if you're viewing this on Sunday morning, or you happen to catch it on a Saturday night, thank you for tuning in. And Saturday Night Confessionals are essentially pieces where I discuss my critiques on certain ideologies, ideas, on certain institutions, and then I provide my own transparency about things I've struggled with in my own personal life. And so make sure you listen, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is No Truths Barred Podcast. Thank you guys for who's ever decided to comment, like a video, share a piece of content. I definitely appreciate it. So let me just jump right on in. One of the ideas, or I guess maybe I may say kind of like a quasi-axiom, if you will, that I have a problem with, and it kind of represents itself, or it kind of manifests in various different forms, but it's kind of based around the same idea. And people will say, I am blessed and highly favored, or God shows favor on that person, or God has favored me, or it kind of manifests in that way. So it's like, I'm blessed and highly favored. My problem with that is that we're trying to anthropomorphize God. We're trying to place our own hubris, our own narcissism, our own belief in our ego, our delusion that we're special in juxtaposition with our peers, that there's something innately unique that makes us better. I do believe we're different, but difference isn't synonymous with being better, and better is subjective. Many times we take this particular idea and we place it on to the divine. We try to put this idea of being favored on an ontological level. And I think it's unfair for us to do that, because then we're trying to place ourselves in the perspective of the divine, in the perspective of the Most High, in the perspective of God, whatever you want to term that, whatever term you want to place to that particular energy, that impetus, that seed, that pole, as the Dogon would say, that spiraled out and created everything. That cosmic love and energy and intelligence. We want to take our belief that something happened to us that makes us better than our peers, and we want to place it onto the divine. And I don't think that's fair, and I'm so tired of that, because if you truly in your heart of hearts believe that, if you truly believe that God shows favor, or people like to say this, thank God I'm not like this person over here. If you truly believe in that, then I have to actually wonder, what do you actually believe about God? Do you believe in a creative force? Do you believe in a God, whatever religion that you're obsequious to? Do you believe in a deity that picks and chooses certain human beings to be better off, to have better luck, to be less fortunate than others? I personally have a hard time to comprehend that. And I've heard people try to defend that in an argument. I've debated people on this particular idea. And a lot of times these discussions evolve where people may feel that they're fortunate, or something has befallen them in their lifetime, and it's preordained by a deity and by God. And I don't like that particular argument. I've always felt it was idiotic and stupid, because we don't know the true complexities of life, or the universe, or this incarnation that we're on. We don't know what type of life lessons we're learning, because a lot of times we are what I started to do is that when I meditate, when I clear my thoughts, when I do mindfulness and I pray, I not only thank the Most High, I don't thank the Creator just for the good times. I thank the Creator for allowing me to experience me as a form of atoms, 48 chromosomes, XY, this corporeal form that I'm in, to be able to experience everything, the pain, the suffering, the losses, the wins, the high points, the low points, because I know they all are teachers. So instead of me looking at the pain and the failures of my life as just being pain and failures in my life, I've started to look at them as my teachers. They are here to teach me. So I thank God for all of it. And I never take this stance that the person that's homeless, or the person that's a paraplegic, or the person that may not have all of their mental faculties, I've never been on the wave of, thank God I'm not like them. I've never done that. And I think whenever we look at someone that's in a less fortunate position, we're not taking in the true magnitude of what they're going through in comparison with ourselves. And then we like to say, oh, thank God, or there go I. Or we like to say, I'm highly favored. So if you're highly favored, you can only measure something by being highly favored in juxtaposition with something being lowly favored. So if you believe in that, to me, it says something about your own psyche, and it says something about your own delusion. We should be humble enough to thank the Creator for any sort of fortunate things that are going on in our lives without having to denigrate the misfortune of another person's life or things that they may be temporarily going through. Because I believe in a cyclical reality. And the cyclical reality is that good and bad are spectrums and everything is in a cycle. So there's going to be times that you're on the high, but it's coming back where there are going to be times where you're on the low. And the onus is on us to not look for some sort of delusional hubris to justify a situation, but we should also be looking inside to see what lessons can we learn from all of these specific situations. And that's just one of the things that I have an issue with and I have a problem with. And I'm just so tired when I have conversations with people. We take our perspectives and then we just kind of superimpose them on anything. You know, I remember I talked to a friend of mine, and we were talking about, like, what would happen legitimate if extraterrestrials invaded the planet? Like, what would happen? And his whole stance was that if they came here and they had advanced technology, if we look at our history, then our history shows us when you have two civilizations and one has superior technology and the other doesn't, the civilization with the superior technology takes over the other nation. Well, one, historically, that's incorrect. Because if you look at when, like, say for example, like when Hernando Cortez, right, when he went into the Aztec Empire, they were just as advanced. And I hate those terms like that, but for lack of better terms, I'll just say advanced. The Aztecs were just as advanced when you talk about medicine, when you talk about the sciences, when you talk about stratification of government, as any culture in Europe at that same time. They just did not have the steel swords and the horse like Cortez would have had when they invaded Teotihuacan or the Mexicano Empire or the Mexica Empire or the Aztec Empire, whatever name you want to choose. And so we're always looking at things from our vantage point as humans. And who's to say if there is extraterrestrial life out there, which I do believe, their moral compass may be something that we have no point of reference for. But us as human beings, we just have this really bad trait about ourselves where anything we don't understand, whether it be God, whether it be extraterrestrials, we want to superimpose our own concepts of right and wrong, favor, civilized, etc. on things that are outside of our scope of focus. And I'm just so tired of that. And you know, my confessional is that next time you're out and you see somebody that you want to say is lowly favored or you're highly favored, I want you to throw that notion away. Throw it in the trash. Let me get a real quick sip of water. I want you to throw that notion away because I don't believe in it, and neither should you. Be humble and thank the Most High for granting you whatever is in it. Thank the Most High for granting you the blessings that you have in your life.